Good morning, students. So today we are going to discussing about senior intermediate botany first unit, fourth chapter, 8 marks question answers, that is long answer question. So the first one, in the light of modern researchers, describe the process of electron transport, cyclic non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Cyclic non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So you know already there are photosynthetic pigments are present in the thylakoid membrane, are organized into two complex systems, that is photosystem 1, in brief PS1, photosystem 2. So these are nothing but reaction centers. So there will be two systems we can see, photosystem 1, photosystem 2. So these are two reaction centers. So light absorbed by the pigments of antenna transfer to reaction center. A special chlorophyll A forms the reaction center. So whenever the chlorophyll is excited in reaction center, it releases the electrons and get excited. So now these electrons are transported by the different electron acceptors. Finally they may attach to the one of the chemical compound, that is NAD, and then it converted into NADH2. How it is? So keep in your mind, we are in light reactions. So in light reactions we can study the cyclic photophosphorylation, non-cyclic photophosphorylation. That is, what are the incidents takes place in the reaction center 1? Nothing but photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. Now here let us discuss about electron transport. So electron transport is two types. One is non-cyclic, another one is cyclic. So electron transport is two types: non-cyclic electron transport and cyclic electron transport. So now let us discuss about non-cyclic transport. So in non-cyclic electron transport, both photosystem 1, photosystem 2 are involved in the non-cyclic electron transport. In the starting of photosynthesis, the reaction center PS2, which is P680 nanometers, absorb the light and oxidize to loss of one electron. So in this non-cyclic electron transport, first of all, the chlorophyll which is present in PS2, get oxidized, get PS680 nanometers here, nm means nanometers. So the chlorophyll which is present in photosystem 2 get oxidized when it receives the light. So now these electrons from the reaction center of PS2 are transferred to pheophytin. Pheophytin. Electron transfer from pheophytin to plastoquinone, cytochrome, plastocyanin finally reaches PS1. So when you have to imagine here, I will draw that PS2. So the chlorophyll is getting oxidized. Here PS1 is there. PS1. Now electrons are passed through like this and finally to the PS1. So electrons are passing from PS2 to PS1 by the different electron acceptors. Electron acceptors, now here what are they means? Pheophytin, plastoquinone, cytochrome, plastocyanin. So these are the electron acceptors. They may receive electron from the PS2 and transfer to PS1 by these electron acceptors from the pheophytin to plastoquinone, plastoquinone to cytochrome and then plastocyanin. So finally reach the PS1. So this is the pathway of electron from PS2 to PS1. So now what happens? The reaction center PS1 700 absorb the light and oxidize it to loss of one electron. So next what happens? Whatever chlorophyll present in the PS1, it is also exposed to the light and get oxidized, release the electron. This then transfer to the electron from PS1 to ferredoxin through different electron carriers, passes the electron from ferredoxin to NADP. So now what happens? Electrons, whatever chlorophyll which is received the light and get oxidized in PS1, these electrons are passes to the NADP plus. Electrons are transported. So first of all, from the PS1, electrons transported to the ferredoxin, then from ferredoxin to NADP plus by the different electron acceptors. So now passes the electron from and converted to NADP. Whatever electrons from the PS1 to ferredoxin to NADP, when electrons are joined to the NADP, already protons are moved indirect way, protons H plus ions. These already electrons are passing through in which way? Protons are moved in indirect way and add. So electrons and protons are added to the NADP and NADP is converted into NADPH. So this is the assimilatory power which is the product in the light reaction, that is non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So now let us take here, in non-cyclic electron transport, electrons are transferred from PS2 to PS1, next to NADP and converted to NADPH. So this is you have to keep in your mind. So electrons, first of all, from PS2 to and transferred to PS1, and from PS1 to ferredoxin to NADP plus and NADP is converted to NADPH. So in this way electrons are transported by the different electron, finally it is arrived to the NADPH. And the main important product which is formed in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, NADPH, by the joining of electrons and protons. Now here what happens, in thylakoid membrane, differences of potentials in between the electron carriers induces the electron flow, different electron acceptors. So in non-cyclic electron transport, electrons move in a zigzag manner, hence it is called Z scheme. Already I shown you, once again I will say why it is called non-cyclic photophosphorylation zigzag or G scheme means. So first of all, the chlorophyll which is present in the PS2 get oxidized and releases the electrons. These electrons passes through the electron acceptors and finally arrive to the PS1. From the PS1, electrons move to the NADP plus. Then NADP converted into NADH. So in this way, electrons are passing in a Z model. So that the non-cyclic photophosphorylation is seems to be a zigzag manner. Hence, it is a G scheme of pathway. We can say that. And next you go to the cyclic electron transport. Cyclic electron transport. So in cyclic electron transport, only photosystem 1 only participate in the stroma lamellae of the chloroplast. In the stroma lamellae, membranes lack PS2 as well as NADP. So why? Because it is occurring in the stroma. In stroma lamella there is no NADP and there is no PS2. Hence only PS1 only participate in the cyclic electron transport. In this method, electron transfer from PS1 does not passes onto the NADP, but the cycled back to PS1 complex through the electron transport chain. PS1 is only involved in the electron transport, that is called cyclic electron transport. So in cyclic electron transport, only electron is passes from the PS1 to PS1, not passed to the NADP. So in this way, electrons from PS1 to the PS1 only they may circle. Hence it is called cyclic electron transport. So now let us discuss most important here, photolysis of water. It is in examination level 2 marks also. So here there will be a most important photolysis of water. Photolysis of water. Photo means light, lysis means breakdown. Photo means light, lysis means breakdown. So water molecule is breakdown in the presence of light. This definition you have to keep in your mind. Breakdown, here they given splitting. The splitting of water in the presence of light and the consequent evolution oxygen is known as photolysis of water. So this is you have to keep in your mind, it is most important. And photolysis of water, this definition. So now this is most important. Photolysis of water. Photolysis of water means the breakdown of the water molecule in the presence of light. Also called, we should give another definition, simply the splitting of water molecule, the splitting of water molecule in the presence of light, the consequent evolution of oxygen is known as photolysis of water. So it is only occurs in reaction center PS2 photosystem 2 దగ్గర మాత్రమే. So in PS2 photosystem 2 there will be a 680 nanometer is there. 680 nanometer accept the electrons by splitting of water molecule, recruit the electron deficiency. సో ఎప్పుడైతే క్లోరోఫిల్ PS2 దగ్గర ఉన్న క్లోరోఫిల్ లైట్ చే ఆక్సిడైజ్ చెంది ఎలక్ట్రాన్ రిలీజ్ అవుతుందో అప్పుడు ఎలక్ట్రాన్ లాస్ అవుతుందన్నమాట. సో ఇమీడియట్లీ ఇట్ గెయిన్ లాస్ట్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ బై splitting of water molecule. This is you have to keep in your mind. So here actually what happens, whatever electrons present in the chlorophyll which is present in the PS2, this is the chlorophyll 680 nanometers. So the chlorophyll which is get oxidized by the when it is exposed to the light, so now immediately electrons is released and goes up. So it lost the electron. To regain lost electron, it break the water molecule. This chlorophyll, light activated chlorophyll, the oxidized chlorophyll break the water molecule to regain the lost electron, so that is the reason here water molecules are break down by the light activated chlorophyll. So because of light activated chlorophyll is breaking the water molecule, hence it is called photolysis of water. So what are the products, what is the result? We can see that in photolysis of water, here they given, simply they given. So imagine light activated chlorophyll here, light activated chlorophyll which is break down in the water molecule. Two water molecules are, if they break down, so 4 electrons we can see, 4 protons we can see, 1 oxygen we can see. If the 2 water molecules are break down by the light activated chlorophyll which is present in the PS2 reaction center, there will be 4 electrons, 4 protons, 1 oxygen molecule is released. This is you have to remember. During photosynthesis, whatever oxygen release in chemical reaction which is released in the from the water only. So whatever oxygen released during photosynthesis which is comes from the water, when the water is break down, so the splitting of water in the presence of light, the consequent evolution of oxygen is known as photolysis of water. So the oxidized P680 accepts the electron by splitting of water from the recruit the electron deficiency. So water is split into protons, electrons and oxygen. So electrons, protons and oxygen. Oxygen evolving complex is main responsible for photolysis of water. Oxygen evolving complex is associated with PS2 which is physically located on inner side of membrane of the thylakoid. In this process, protons are released into the thylakoid lumen. So whatever protons they release into thylakoid lumen. Next go to the photophosphorylation is the synthesis of ATP from ADP in the presence of light. So ATP formation is occurred only in the presence of light, is called photophosphorylation. Photo means light, phosphorylation means formation of ATP. So one phosphate is added to the ADP and ADP is converted to ATP in the presence of light. It is called photophosphorylation. So in both PS1 and PS2 systems are involved in the non-cyclic electron transport for the formation of ATP is called non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So if the ATP is formed in the non-cyclic electron transport system, it is called non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So ATP, NADPH are synthesized by the non-cyclic electron transport. So this is most important in non-cyclic photophosphorylation. ATP is formed, NADPH are synthesized. So PS1 photosystem 1 reaction is only involved in the cyclic electron transport for the formation of only ATP. So it is called cyclic photophosphorylation. So photophosphorylation is 2 types: non-cyclic photophosphorylation, cyclic photophosphorylation. In non-cyclic photophosphorylation, PS1, PS2, both reaction centers are participated. Both assimilator power is released, ATP and NADPH. Whereas in cyclic photophosphorylation, only PS1 only participate. In cyclic photophosphorylation, PS1 only is participate. So hence only ATP is formed. So this is called cyclic photophosphorylation. ATP is only sedated by the cyclic electron transport but not the NADPH. Cyclic photophosphorylation also occurs when light of wavelength is beyond 680 nanometer is available for excitation. So in green plants, cyclic photophosphorylation is an additional source of ATP required for chloroplast at this over and above that is required in the Kelvin cycle. This is the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Non-cyclic photophosphorylation. In non-cyclic photophosphorylation, photosystem 2, that is PS2 and PS1, both are participating. Now LHC, light harvesting complex. Light harvesting complex. LHC means light harvesting complexes. Here chlorophyll. In chlorophyll, 680 nanometer chlorophyll is present. When it is exposed to the light, electrons are released. Electrons are released. These electrons passes to the electron acceptors by the different electron acceptors like PO15, cytochrome B, A, C, like that electron. Finally, by the electron acceptors, electrons passes through the light harvesting center 2. That is PS1 here 700 chlorophyll is there. PS1, from which electron passes through the electron acceptors, finally added to the NADP. When the electrons are added to the NADP, and here already protons are formed, these protons are moved indirect way and added protons. So protons and electrons both are added and NADP is converted into NADPH. NADP plus is converted into NADPH. So in the same way here you can see that while it is moving here, what happens? ADP is converting into ATP. So in non-cyclic photophosphorylation, both are forming. NADPH forming, ATP is forming. This is the result of non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So in non-cyclic photophosphorylation, both are participating. That is a photosystem 2, photosystem 1. But first of all, which chlorophyll is get oxidized means the chlorophyll which is present in the photosystem 2 get oxidized and release the electron. So immediately already it lost electron, so that to regain the electron it split the water molecule to regain the electrons. This process is called splitting of water molecule. Splitting of a water molecule. You can see this here. So next you can go to the cyclic photophosphorylation. In cyclic photophosphorylation, only PS1 only participate. PS1. Whatever chlorophyll which is present in the PS1 is P700 nanometers and which get oxidized when it is exposed to the light, electrons are released. So these electrons passes through electron acceptors, and what happens here, one ADP is converted into ATP, and again this electron come back to the chlorophyll, that is P700 PS1. So in this way electron movement is through by the electron acceptors, and in a cyclic way. There is no NADPH, so that because of electron moving in a cyclic way coming back to the photosystem 1, that is reaction center. So this is called cyclic photophosphorylation, in which one ADP is converting into ATP. So hence it is called cyclic photophosphorylation. Cyclic photophosphorylation. In cyclic photophosphorylation, only PS1 only participate, and only one ATP is forming, not any ADP. So this is you have to keep in our mind. So most important, sometimes it is also asked long answer question, you have to keep in your mind.